end of the day, we just want mouse to be okay. So I thank you guys so much for you know, your undivided support of mouse. Sorry, when I do that weird thing where I get louder, that's me trying to cope. Great tweet, by the way.
Should you better there and get cycling and start raising some money? Yes.
And my lawyer said it was fine. I told him, I was like, I'm gonna do a pro gamer move real quick. He was like, please don't. And he was like, actually, you know what? That's a good one. Thank you. I thought it was tasteful. I thought it was tasteful. I mean, what can you do? What can you do when you're, you know, when no amount of words can put into how angry you are? What can you say? And for me, the best way I like to deal with these things is to make a joke. Yeah, I'm British. That's how we cope with everything. Ludwig's tweet was crazy, though. What Ludwig's tweet was diabolical. Did you see what he tweeted? Ludwig is unhinged. Lud tweeted, I believe Vishojo is a terrorist organization. That is... he's him, bro. Let him do what he wants, I guess. Hey, yeah, he's a real one. I don't know what the thought process is, but you know what? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The joke is they donated to the wrong idea.
I'll make it painless.
Oh, God. That's so bad. That's so bad. That's so bad. Okay. So, like, look, today the plan is, I don't know. I'll talk about it a bit. We'll get over it. We'll move on. Maybe we'll play a short game later on. I'm not going to stream crazy today. So it is a go through and through. There's a lot that can be said, a lot that can't be said for obvious reasons. You know, this is all kind of new. But I think I'll talk a little bit about my initial impressions. We can maybe talk about the business of running an agency, about what that looks like, and then we can get into the final section, which will be my personal thoughts. Yeah, not good. They're not good. I'm pretty angry, as you can probably guess. It does feel weird streaming right now, and I've not got chat up, but I think I don't want to look at chat because I want to kind of just talk and give you my own thoughts about it and kind of go into it. And I think, first of all, the really important thing to keep in mind right now as a viewer, because I'm sure you're all very confused and you all have a lot that you want answered. You want to understand how this happened, what is happening, the full breadth of all of it, and it sucks. But the sad truth is that we have to like wait for everything to kind of unfold, to wait for everything to unravel. And obviously the fact that you guys are even hearing about this now means that a lot of things have gone wrong up until this point, right? Like, I know this is all brand new news to all of you guys, but I think what you need to keep in mind is that if it is brand new to you guys, this has been simmering and cooking for a hot minute. So keep that in mind. This is unfortunately a very slow and unsatisfying process, and everyone right now is going to try and get their like thoughts in. We live in a time where you get paid to hold people's attention, so everyone's going to be saying a lot of things and making their own thoughts on it.
Bonjour, Connor. Chat and
I should probably turn this off for now.
Also,
there's a you know, it's a bombshell right now. It's a lot to take in because I feel like people cared an awful lot about this thing, and the thing isn't there. And a lot of people also just are curious what's going on. People who've never even heard of VTubing or VShow want to know what's going on. So there's a lot of people who are trying to get anything. And unfortunately, all the information that is available now is, you know, majoritively from Mouse's statement. And unfortunately, there won't be any more information for a while, you know, obviously things need to go into work. Hopefully you guys don't have to wait too long. But just keep that in mind, that there are a lot of people out there that want to make their quick buck from this, and they'll be saying whatever and all this stuff, and just know that unfortunately you just have to wait, you know? It does suck. It really sucks, because everyone deserves answers. This is a pretty, I mean, it's very serious what's being accused, obviously, because it is not drama. It is literally crime. This is like a genuine crime. This is not like YouTube drama. He said, she said. Like some serious shit. And obviously, you know, in Mouse's video, Mouse mentions that you know, she is owed money as well. Yeah, that's just what we know from Mouse. So it's some pretty hefty allegations.
You're the prey.
You know, after all, be handled. So that's why, like, I'm also gonna make sure that I handle this in a proper way, even though I am angry. So I'm sorry, you're not gonna get like the scoop from me, and I'm not gonna give you any more information, like, you know, private information about it. Like, if you're expecting that, that's not what you're gonna get, because, you know, I'm obviously gotta wait for Mouse to handle this and all the legal stuff to be done. So you're not gonna get any of that from me. But we can talk a bit more about, we do know what's public, and yeah, then we'll get into my overall thoughts on this whole mess. Now, I know this is a bit of a tangent, but I think it's really important. I think it's really important to quickly talk about the, like, business of running an agency. I think it would be fun to tell you guys roughly about how this all works, because I think it's interesting, and I think it'll help us understand better what might have happened and what might have gone on a bit here, and then we can get into it a bit. As somebody who has been a YouTuber and stuff for a very long time, we can talk about, like, roughly what happens. So let's say you have company. Okay, why do I have white? Also, let me kill the music. I'm gonna kill the music, not the MS Paint. We're doing the MS Paint. We're doing it. My thing is not very good. Let's say you have a company and it's called Sea-Dog. Now, very fundamentally, I think we all easily understand this concept. For a business to work, the money that goes in, all right, needs to be bigger than money go out. Like, that's a pretty simple, like, it's a pretty easy understanding of business, right? Okay, and then you hear someone in chat goes, well, actually, it does actually change, because now we had these genius people in the great place of San Francisco who had this genius model that was like, what if money that goes in is just like nothing, and money that goes out is money that goes in is big investor money. Company has to make all hundreds of millions, just keep shoveling it in. So anyway, there's not, like, you know, but generally speaking, money needs to come in at a bigger amount than money goes out. Very simple, very, very simple. Now, from my Sea-Dog agency, there are a couple of ways that I could make some money from talent. So let's say I want to start, you know, I have my amazing talents here, and then there's some revenue that I can get. So I could take it from, let's say if they're a YouTuber like me, and I want to take money from myself, because I'm the top talent at Sea-Dog Corp. Bro thinks he's pirate, so okay, no, I never worked at Blizzard. All right, so you could take it from, like, ad revenue. This is like a common way that company. Okay, my handwriting is not very good. This is like your Twitch money. This is your YouTube ad revenue. You know, money that you get from just kind of doing your YouTuber things, and there's not really like a money number that's agreed on, right? So like 1 month you could make, I don't know, like $1,000 from this, right? And then there's also sponsorships, which you've seen me do plenty of time. Lord knows I've promoted some games that maybe I, you know, but look, that's fine, because you know what? Sea-Dog Corp just got $2,000. Nice. Okay, nice. There's also merch. We can sell merch. We can sell the merch from seadogva.com where you can get it. And the company will typically, you know, they'll help our top talent, Sea-Dog. They'll help him make some merch, and we'll take a cut. So we'll get like 500. This is nice. Now we've got some cash flow, right? There is also other miscellaneous stuff that you can make money from, but this will always be like the big three. Like, you can make money from, like, convention appearances, licensing. Like, if Mouse wanted to, you know, like, release, I don't know, a pickaxe, you can make the Mouse pickaxe. Sorry, 5,000. I did 5,000, right? So, like, there's loads of different ways, but these tend to be like the big ways that you make money, right? Generally speaking, like the normal amount that a talent agency will take is like 10 to 25, but normally 20% of the talent's like revenue, like cut. But they might not take it from everything, right? But you need to take something, because otherwise, you know, you don't have a lot of money coming in. So let's say we're taking 10% of all of this. All right, we've got, so let's say Sea-Dog Corp's taking 10%, right? This is not a very, this is already getting messy. This is already getting messy. So let's say Sea-Dog Corp is taking 10%. And right now we have $8,000, so they're taking $800. Why is this small now? What is this? Okay, there we go. We're back. All right, nice. We're taking a whopping $800 a month. Now, what you might have realized very quickly is that that's actually like not a whole lot of money. That's not a whole lot of money for Sea-Dog to pay, well, me, the employee, right? Like, what's the average salary of someone who lives in the US, right? Like, it'd be, I don't know, like, what is it, like $4,000, $5,000? And obviously for talent agencies, like, let's say the average salary is like $5,000. Someone who works there. And if it's San Fran, boy, you better be prepared to double it. So basically what needs to happen is that, like, if a talent's on 10%, which is quite generous, I'd say it's normally 15 to 20 normally. They need to somehow find, and let's just say you have just one manager, they need to find $5,000 of money here, like, per month, right? And they're only taking 10 to 20%. So they're like, the money in this is like, it's either like really good or really bad. This is why when you hear about a lot of talent agencies that are small, you never really hear about like mid-sized talent agencies, because it's kind of really hard to exist in this middle ground, where if you're like a creator or something, there's not a whole lot of money that you can make to pay staff, because there's not just like one staff. You're probably paying like 2 or 3 staff, right? There's a lot going on. There's a lot of money that needs to be generated for all this to be paid. I know that 5K is low, and I know that if it's like San Fran, it would be like crazy, right? But just stay with me. This is why for a long time, talent agencies have been kind of like dominated by the really, really big dogs. Because, you know, if you sign like one contract with like Katy Perry, right? Like Katy Perry or Caitlyn Jenner does a Pepsi deal and it's going to go great. And the Pepsi deal might be worth like 5 mil. Suddenly, you know, 5 mil, if we're taking 10% of 5 mil, holy moly, we're in it. Now we're cooking. Now we're making some money in this business. You know what I mean? We're making some big bucks. Traditionally, talent agencies have kind of been pretty like top heavy, and there's a lot of big companies that kind of control the space. And there's not a lot of small companies, which is why when you've probably seen a couple of like really small agencies that exist, and the main way that they like stay afloat is by just having like 0 running costs. So they don't have many staff. Like it might be like the CEO is the one who does pretty much all the deals and stuff like that. There's a massive imbalance, and there's not really like a solid way for like a mid-sized agency to exist. This is all being said, and I want to keep this in mind. And the whole point of this was that, like, you know, and I'm not trying to like, you know, say judge how a business was ran, but the problem is if you're kind of not taking any of this money, you kind of don't have a business. You know, it's kind of, you kind of don't have anything. And so I think it's important to take that. And you know, a lot of stuff was public. And so, you know, you can kind of figure out what might have been going wrong. And on top of that, like, just, okay, sticking to pure factual public statement knowledge that, you know, stuff that like, you know, that would be available to you to know before we get into it, is that like, VShojo owes the Immunophysicity Foundation a lot of money, $500,000. And they've, you know, in Mouse Video as well, Mouse has also owed money. I'm just like curious, how did that happen? Because from my perspective, you know, I feel like it should have been pretty easy. I mean, you know, this is an article from like 3 years ago. Is that like, just saying, an interesting article. That's it. I'm just going to leave it there. And also, I was curious because I saw this tweet that someone posted. Hopefully it doesn't show anything that I shouldn't show. I saw this tweet where someone posted that, remember when VShojo plastered this all over the Tokyo subway to brag about how well they treated their talents? And I was thinking about this, and I was like, I know that station. That's Shinjuku Station. I go through that all the time. And I was wondering, I was like, how much does it cost to get that? Because you know, personally, in my opinion, it would be nice if instead of advertising, we could, you know, perhaps put that money towards the Immunophysicity Foundation. And so I actually found the exact costs of how much it costs to do this. Fun fact. Yeah, here they are. It's a lot of money. So this is one of the ways that you can get it. There's also this piece of information here, and I'll let you explain how much this costs. So what this says in Japanese is right here. This says that for one of those pillars, for 7 days, if I'm not mistaken, it'll cost 40 million yen, which is about $250,000 for one. If you want to take over the whole thing, it would cost 200 million yen, which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's a ton. It is a ton, okay? It's like an insane amount of money, and that's to get all those pillars for 7 days of advertising. And obviously, like, look, I'm not here to tell a business how to run their company. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give but, well, I mean, I do give that is a lie. I do give actually. I give quite a lot of one thing that, you know, leaves the question in my mind, as somebody who would like the charity to get paid, is why is there the need to advertise an English talent agency on a Japanese subway? Just a genuine, like, thought that I would love to know what happened. Like, I had to imagine that there was, I don't know. I'm not, no imagining, no stipulating. Look, I'm just saying, like, that's frustrating for me, because that's easily money that could have gone towards charities and stuff. And, you know, as well, like, some other stuff as well that's important to keep in mind is that there was a, you know, there would always be, like, big parties that would be thrown, and parties, not cheap to throw. Like, booking out a whole venue and paying for everyone's drinks is a very expensive thing to do, and oftentimes completely, like, just a flex, you know? So, yeah, my lawyer is probably sweating right now. I don't want to open Discord because I don't dare. Look what he said. But look, what? Look, if I get sued for defamation, oh, great, cool. Oh, great, they can finally pay the charity now with the money they get from me. Okay, so they kind of did the math the wrong way. Okay, point B, you kind of get what I'm getting at, even if my math wasn't correct. I think the point, they illustrate the point that, you know, is what it is. And, like, I think one other thing that I was always, okay, there's a lot of things. Actually, I won't get into that. I won't get into that because I don't want to say things that I shouldn't. But I will tell you guys how I feel about it, because I think that's, I'm well within my legal right to do that. And I'm pissed off, man. It's been really frustrating. I've to say the least. Obviously, I've, you know, known about this for quite some time now. Up in mouse, deal with it as much as possible, you know, and as much as you can do. And it's man, it f***ing sucks. It sucks a lot, and I'm still kind of like coming to terms with the breach of trust, which I think is, you know, something that I think is obviously being, you know, because everyone's talking about the charity money, and that's really important, and the talents have been lied to. But I think, like, man, what a colossal up to absolutely ruin the trust with, like, all of the talents in my mind. And with Mouse, like, the one thing that you have to do as an agency is just keep your talent safe. Like nothing you do should ever put them in a point of jeopardy. And so it's just so depressing that this happened. And I know that, like, I don't want to talk for Mouse at any of this, because that's not, you know, I think, you know, this is a Mouse thing, but, like, Mouse already had, like, a hard time trusting people, so it makes me so mad that someone that you know, and people that Mouse trusted kind of took advantage of that. And I yeah, I'm really, really, really angry about it. I know I am not shouting and all that stuff. Lord knows I want to. But man, I'm just sad. I'm just so sad. I'm so sad. But, you know, okay, so let's talk about a bit about the video and about Mouse, and you know, so Mouse, you know, released a statement, and I'm glad that she did, because I think that it was important for Mouse to be able to tell this from her own words, from her own side. And again, reminder, this is, you know, what Mouse's attorneys have approved Mouse to say, and this is what they're allowed to say. So, you know, if you can say this and you can't say the other stuff, I mean, anyway. the one good thing that's come from this so far, and then I guess we can get into that in a little bit. But oh man, I'm sorry. My thoughts are hard to formulate in this moment, and perhaps I should have had a script. But you know, like I feel like I didn't really want to come in here and be like, this is what my lawyer has approved. I feel like because there's so much support from you guys and from the viewers for Mouse and for especially our charitable endeavors that I felt like it would be doing a bit of a disservice to kind of just lawyer talk out of this. But yeah, it's just so depressing. And like, so, you know, obviously found out about this quite a while ago, and I you know, I'd been concerned for quite some time about certain things. And so, you know, I was pushing quite heavily. And so I'm glad that, you know, Mouse was able to get answers. Obviously it was like not great answers. I mean, dude, can you imagine that like you've put so much of like your life and so much of like your effort and everything that you hold dear and everything that you care about into something. Someone else is like, whoops, forgot about that. You know, oh, I was supposed to do that. I'm okay. I don't think I'll do it. And then you can't even get like a good answer as to what the is going on. Yeah, it's just I'm like dumbfounded. So, you know, and I'm glad that that now it's out and that we can hopefully start figuring out what the next steps are. Obviously, so one thing that I was like, you know, we should do this is that we should talk to the Immunodeficiency Foundation and kind of explain what, you know, what's a bit about what's going on. And man, that is like, if you think you've ever had to break bad news to people in your life, dude. I mean, I normally don't like get upset or cry about things, but like, man, like having to, you know, deal with that was just like so ridiculous. Because you know, me and Mouse have both spent so much of our online time and the work that I do here and the work that Mouse does, like advocacy for the Immunodeficiency Foundation. And you know, I genuinely see all the immunodeficiency people like family. Like we have calls with them every month. We walk through what they're doing. We walk through all the fundraisers that we're doing and where the money's going. We talk to patients. I've interviewed people who have benefited from the charity, and I've gotten to speak with them. And like this, it's so hard when you donate money. Like there are so many people who are being so generous in donating money. It's so hard to see that money and to imagine that you like helped someone, and to see the direct benefits of that. But you know, I've been really fortunate where I've been able to like actually talk to so many of these patients who have benefited from this money. And who have been able to increase their quality of life because of this money. And so to like kind of hear that like people won't get it really hurts. Because again, I've spent so much energy, and Mouse spent so much energy on raising money for this charity that, you know, like
Start your day.
Without them, we wouldn't have iMouse streams, you know? Like they are such an important aspect of Mouse's life. And yeah, sorry, getting a little sad. Get a little sad, man, when I think about it. Because then I started thinking about like, man, like we hear about Iron Mouse, and we're so lucky that we hear about Mouse's story and Mouse's journey. And then I get so fucking sad that I think like, damn, it could have ended so much more differently if there wasn't people who were trying to do the right thing. And that makes me really angry. So yeah, that's really tough to deal with. But I think it's been great to see the support the Mouse has gotten so far. And when I was talking to Mouse, and Mouse obviously extremely nervous about doing this.
No escape.
Obviously, as this is like such a difficult thing to do. And Mouse is not a drama person. Mouse is not a confrontational person. Mouse is not the type of person who would get into this. Mouse would do everything in her power to not let it get to this point. And so to see it kind of like get there, and just watching Mouse being like torn apart by this was yeah, made me really angry. And I really hope that the people who are responsible for this, I hope that they're held accountable and that there is some form of justice. Other than that, it has been amazing to see like just how much support there's been for the charity and for Mouse, because I think that I'm really happy that everyone's kind of taken to Mouse and the charity here. And like already, like so far, like as I'm like talking, it's going up. You know, it's kind of crazy. but like $223,000 raised already, and Mouse isn't even streamed, you know? Like, that's crazy. Like that's so cool. And I'm just kind of like overwhelmed for Mouse as well, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, the level of generosity has been really cool to see. So that's been awesome. And you know, even with the Immune Deficiency Foundation, like, we've worked with them so much that like we work with them so much that you can literally go on their website to read about a page with us and how we fundraise and how you can get in and get involved. Like, there is a page on their website dedicated entirely to the fundraisers that we do. Like, and like the impact that, you know, all of you guys have had being in like a content creator space and having to raise money for charity. It's a weird situation because people want to know what they're donating to. And the sad reality of like immunocompromised stuff is that it is super not easy to explain. Like, it is, I mean, like, for lack of better words, it's not a sexy disease. Like, because like, it is so hard to fully get across what it is that common variable immunodeficiency is, right? Like, even saying it sounds like I get like explaining to someone like, hi, primary immune deficiency is a situation where sometimes your immune system just doesn't work. But wait, there's 450 different versions of it, and there's some people are only affected with like super individual cases. Like, it's such a complex disease to talk about and to fundraise for. And I'm so glad that like people are willing to listen and to hear out when me and Mouse are always talking about it. And so that makes me really happy. Yeah, 450 that we know of. Sorry. It's terrifying. Like, it's a really like horrible disease, because basically you could live your whole life thinking I'm healthy, and then suddenly when you start to get like, you know, older, maybe 25, punk status, you know, maybe you just start getting sick, and maybe you're getting pneumonia, which you've never gotten before, and maybe you're getting that sinus infection that's lasting a lot longer and happening a bit more often than it was before, and the doctor's always like, well, you should try this, you should try this, you should try this, because the doctors themselves don't even know about it. A lot of doctors are not educated in primary immune deficiency, which is why a lot of the money also goes towards helping further train doctors, helping give them more information, because they're like, it's scary to think as somebody who might be sick that my doctor might just have no idea what the f is wrong with me. And the fact that you'd have to live with that and your quality of life will just keep getting worse and worse while you're being given medication and treatment for stuff that is not the problem. It's like super demoralizing, super draining, and like a horrible quality of life, and it only gets worse the older you get. It's why there is such a massive need for just educating people and talking about it, which is why with all this stuff, I want to make sure that we all learn a bit more about the charity and the disease, because it's such an important part. That is like half the battle with raising money and raising awareness to get research. You can't raise more money without people knowing about it, and you can't fix the disease until there's a lot of money and help people have better quality of lives. But like, imagine it, like you suddenly start getting sick, you don't know what's going on, suddenly you can't be around your friends, your family, and if you do want to be around your friends and family, they have to quarantine for days at a time. It's like terrifying. Like, it's genuinely such a horrific and lonely experience to have to go through that. Like, you like mentally are like completely fine, but suddenly now you're isolated, you can't talk to anyone, you suddenly keep getting sicker and sicker. It's awful. It's a really horrible disease. And, you know, the fact that, like, Mouse is able to stream and do what Mouse does with all of that is insane. Like, Mouse is like a superhero, man. Like, I when I get mildly sick, I'm like, better take 3 days off. You know? Meanwhile, Mouse is like in her pukeathon, in her subathon, puking all the time, and then coming back to stream like nothing happened. It's crazy. Like, I can't do that pukeathon next. Oh god. So it's like crazy, you know. There's a lot to admire, I think, about Mouse, and to be proud of, I think. I'm always so impressed with Mouse and her ability to, no matter what, just kind of power through it or get through it. So yeah, I'm just mad. I'm just so mad. You're locked in now, mate. Thank you for the comedic relief. I mean, you know, it's depressing, but I think it has been really cool kind of seeing so far everyone kind of coming together, everyone kind of trying to raise money for charity, everyone, you know, taking this really horrific mess and making it into something good. And I really do hope that Publicly, you guys don't have to wait long to fully find out what happened, and because I think everyone wants answers. I think we all want answers to what the happened. How can you this up so much, and I wish Mouse was able to go like Hail Mary and just tell you guys everything. But we have to wait. We have to wait. We have to be patient. We have to wait for the full story. You know, lawyer's got a lawyer. Although I was talking to another lawyer about this because I was also curious. I was asking him like his thoughts on the situation, you know, and I said I was like, nah, we ball. Let's get that lawsuit. Let's go crazy. I was like, what are they gonna do? Sue the Talon? That's crazy. Because I feel like, okay, it's like if you as a talent agency sued your talent, that no talent would ever join your company ever again. And at that point, like, what are you suing for? You're suing to like pay off the debt you owe to that talent. You know what I mean? Like this would be like Disney if Disney tried to sue Mickey Mouse. It's ridiculous. The lawyers are funny, and law thing needs to be done. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So that's about it. That's all I have. That I don't have much else to say other than I'm angry. I'm disappointed. It's not hard to pay money that you owe. It's about it. It's really not that difficult. It's not your money. Don't with it. Okay. All right, what did he say? Okay, my lawyer did message me. Okay, he didn't send all caps. I'm fine. And look, this is gonna be a mess of a situation while we wait for everything to kind of come out. We'll know all the facts when the time is right, and that's it. That's about it. So that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm not going to go into too much more depth about it other than just sad and disappointed. Twitter's already going crazy, and like rightfully so. Like I feel like I understand why everyone is so fuming about this. Like everyone has the right to be completely angry and betrayed, especially if you were an active viewer of Shoujo or Mouse or supported any of it. Like yeah, you have every right to feel absolutely betrayed. I think like that. I think that's completely valid. But try not to get, try not to go too crazy. Trying to go haywire. We just gotta wait ultimately. And for now, we can continue our clowning. I'm super excited ultimately because I am excited for when Mouse streams next because I know the positivity is going to be insane, and I can't wait because I know Mouse needs it because Mouse has been dealing with this for quite a long time, privately. So I think like when Mouse streams next, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to hear it. Giga, thank you so much for raiding. Sorry, I was like locked in, but I saw Giga did talk about it a little bit, and of course, Giga is ever mature. Giga had the absolute correct mentality when talking about it. Giga was like, let the lawyers cook. So I think it'll be good. But look, we're already at $230,000 raised for charity. That's like insane amounts. Just ridiculous. So just we gotta wait for Mouse to come back and be live again. And I guess every stream till then will just be the Mouse waiting room. Mouse is in chat. You missed her message. I'm sorry. I had chat closed because I didn't want to get distracted while I was talking about it. Can she still not stream without being in an agency? Yeah, you can stream. But like a lot of the talents, like okay, it's like public. A lot of the talents also had like agent representation outside of VShojo. Like that is a thing that was real. Why that would happen? You have to wonder. I don't know. Kaho tweeted about this. I saw Kaho's tweet. Okay, Kaho's tweet is the kind of tweet that would make your lawyer flip a lid. Lawyer would be like, Kaho, we better have proof for this. We better have some proof for this one, Kaho. This is a crazy tweet. I'm not trying to get into legal trouble, but it makes you think. Also, Kaho is... I have so much respect for Kaho. Kaho takes zero any situation. Kaho will drag people for being awful. I love it. Kaho has no chill, and I have nothing but respect. Hopefully none of us have to wait. Kaho takes about this. I saw Kaho's tweet. Okay. Can she still not stream without being in an agency? Yeah, you can stream. But like a lot of the talents, Like, okay, there's like public. A lot of the towns also had like agent representation outside of Vishojo. Like that is a thing that was real. Why that would happen, you have to wonder. I don't know. Kaho tweeted about this. Okay, I saw Kaho's tweet. Okay, Kaho's tweet.
Get back. Out of the way. Look. Weak spot. Take this.
Take a break.
Let's hurry it up. Get back.
I don't know. Kaho tweeted about this. Okay, I saw Kaho's tweet. Okay, Kaho's tweet is the kind of tweet that would make your lawyer flip a lid. Lawyer would be like, Kaho, we better have proof for this. We better have some proof for this one, Kaho. This is a crazy tweet. I'm not trying to get into legal trouble, but you know, it makes you think. Makes you think. Also, Kaho is... I have so much respect for Kaho. Kaho takes zero any situation. Kaho will drag people for being awful. I love it. Kaho has no chill, and I have nothing but respect. Probably none of us have to wait too long. So I think everyone wants to be done with the situation, and everyone just wants the right thing to be done. One thing I did actually want to say very quickly, I'm still pissed off about this. I do want to say this. Maybe my lawyer would appreciate this, but you know, this one I do want. My lawyer's really sweating right now. Actually, one more thing before I move on. So here's one of my biggest what the f***s about all of this, okay? And I did want to say this, but I forgot to say it during my rant earlier. As somebody who is always, you know, I'm always concerned about Mouse. I care a lot about Mouse, and I you know, I just want Mouse to be okay. You know, so in Mouse's statement, Mouse alludes that money is owed to her. In my mind, if you owed money to a like to Mouse or any talent, it's like, what if Mouse was not in a financially secure position and Mouse really needed that money? Like, would you just like not give it? Like, I don't understand. Because at that point we're getting to the point where like you're just actively like risking someone's livelihood, and that really pissed me off. Because like me, if I go broke, okay, I'll start working Uber Eats. I'll figure it out. I'll be all right. But it's like, you know, we all know medical treatment is not cheap. They're very frustrated. Needless to say, my anger is being tempered and my fury is is quite palpable. But look, we'll wait for the full thing to come out. Thank you, lawyer. Sorry for giving you a heart attack. All right, now I'm done. Now I'm excited to play some games or do something else. my lawyer did say. Okay, all good. He says all good. Yay! Alrighty. Well then, lawyer VTuber. Like, these lawyers aren't expensive. These lawyers aren't cheap, chat, all right? He's billed me the hour, and the hour is up, okay? We gotta move on. Let me sit down for a bit. My standing up is done. He's in chat. He is watching. Look, when your client is about to do some self-immolation, you want to watch that. But all good.
What a pain.
no retreat now.
Don't mess up my man. I'm not very.
Every single day, the gaming industry becomes weaker on its grip and stranglehold that it has on you as a consumer. And the weaker the grip becomes, the more desperate the industry, in fact, gets. We've been seeing everything from massive amounts of censorship on Steam to now, of course, at the same time, seeing Ubisoft and other European unions try to gather together and lobby against things like Stop Killing Games, which apparently SKG has in fact reached the 1.4 million signature milestone with just a few days left to go at the time of this recording, and that is absolutely amazing. Now, this doesn't mean that this will go into law or be actually practiced effect in the future, but what this does mean is that now the EU has to look into this to see if it is even viable to move over to the next step. This is a big win, but a small win in the grand scheme of things. But the problem isn't just the fact that SKG has neared its first step. The problem is that the gaming industry is doing whatever they can to fight tooth, claw, and nail in order to stop this from going through. They're comfortable in their positions of monetary recompense. They're comfortable in their ability to charge you more money for less products. They're comfortable with the fact that you do not own your actual product, and Ubisoft has been the poster child for all of this. Everything from seeing their EULA get exposed to saying, hey, once that license is over, you got to destroy those games, baby. You don't own those things anymore. Those are gone. Buy the new one that we're going to make you buy instead. That's the one you got to buy. Give us more money while we don't give any of that back to you, by the way. And Ubisoft practices get even more scummy, as if we didn't see this previously from EA. Remember the whole like surprise mechanics thing? Well, here's what Ubisoft had to say about their microtransactions. According to the tweet by Dexerto, Ubisoft claims that putting microtransactions in single-player games like Assassin's Creed Shadows makes them, quote, more fun to play. They argue it's because players can progress more quickly if they pay for boosters. I can't. Really? Truly? Oh, it's gonna make it more fun to play, which means you literally designed the game to not be fun unless you give them more money. You purposely went through and created dynamic ways of controlling player enjoyment and engagement by creating non-stop time gate materials in order to force players to either A, grind by spending their time on doing that, or B, giving you more money after the $70 video game, now soon to be $80, thanks Nintendo, in order to bypass the grind that you purposely put into the video game. And you're saying, hey, look, listen, boys, we can't solve this problem. It's not our fault that we designed the game this exact specific way. We didn't need to put these sort of mechanics in the video game in the first place, but we found the solution for you. That's right. The problem we created, we found the actual fix. That's why you giving us more money to skip the time gates that we added in the get. This company, this actual idiotic, moronic company who goes around and puts their own son as the next leader of that company, and they're like, there's no nepotism here, boys. It's gonna be great, you guys. It's fine. And the crazier part is they are in fact against SKG, which we'll talk about later. and are one of the groups inside of the lobbyist group going against SKG in the EU. I wonder why. I wonder why a company would want you to destroy your discs and your games after the license is expired. The same company that makes their own time-gated mechanics inside of the games for you to pay to get past to have the fun in the video game is mad about you owning the game. Man, I just, you know, like Joe from Seattle pointed out, I'm sure their stock price is doing really great. Oh, well, would you look at that? Things ain't going so hot over there. Ubisoft France, are they right now, my boys? Are they? But besides the insanity of Ubisoft going around and literally admitting they're creating games that are time-gated on purpose to make you spend more money, you basically have to give them money to give them more money, which is kind of wild if you ask me. They're making you pay for your own money, basically, which is a really fun thing to watch. They are now showing complete incompetence as to what the SKG initiative is in fact about. And it gets even crazier because not only is the CEO of Ubisoft saying these things, it turns out that Ross of Accursed Farms is now possibly breaking EU law. Is he really though? The answer is no, but we're gonna go over it anyways. Trust me, you're gonna love it. Ross of Accursed Farms tweeted this out yesterday saying, I'm surprised the CEO of Ubisoft has responded to SKG. I think he might be purposefully acting ignorant, talking about the endless support. It's easier for the industry to pretend they don't understand the demand than acknowledge the problem and the solution. It turns out that according to GameFile, they had an interview with Yves Guillemot directly, and some of the statements he made are very worrying, especially because, like Ross from Accursed Farm said, they are obfuscating and literally ignoring the real thing that SKG is asking for. At the same time, they're making up their own strawman arguments to try and say this is the real problem and we can't do this because of XYZ, even though that's not the case at all, and it'll tie back directly into what we talked about with Ubisoft and their microtransactions as well. Let's see what the article had to say though and go from there. Yves Guillemot is quoted as saying this, quote, regarding the petition, we operate in a market, Guillemot said, as noted by GameFile. And whenever we release a game, we provide a lot of support for that game. We also provide a lot of services to make sure
Well, guys, it's time for me to play some other games that can be played on stream. So it's going to be it for the stream. Good luck, fun, thanks for watching, and we'll see you.